Question 1. What will be a serious distraction while you're driving? D. Looking at road maps. Explanation. Looking at road maps while driving is very dangerous. If you aren't sure of your route, stop in a safe place and check the map. You must not allow anything to take your attention away from the road while you're driving. Question 2. What type of vehicle could you expect to meet in the middle of the road? D. Lorry. Explanation. The highest point of the bridge is in the center, so a large vehicle might have to move to the center of the road to have enough room to pass safely under the bridge. Question 3. What must you do if your ability to drive is impaired during a period of illness? B. Stop driving until you're fit to drive again. Explanation. Only drive if you're fit to do so. Driving when you're ill or taking some medicines can affect your concentration and judgment. It may also cause you to become drowsy or even fall asleep. Question 4. What should you do if you begin to feel drowsy while you're driving? D. Stop and rest as soon as possible. Explanation. You'll be putting other road users at risk if you continue to drive when you're drowsy. Pull over and stop in a safe place for a rest. If you're driving a long distance, think about finding some accommodation so you can rest for longer before continuing your journey. Question 5. Where would you expect to see these markers? B. On a large goods vehicle. Explanation. These markers must be fitted to vehicles over 13 meters long, large goods vehicles, and rubbish skips placed in the road. They're reflective to make them easier to see in the dark. Question 6. You're approaching a crossroads. What should you do if the traffic lights have failed? A. Be prepared to stop for any traffic. Explanation. When approaching a junction where the traffic lights have failed, you should proceed with caution. Treat the situation as an unmarked junction and be prepared to stop. Question 7. You're driving a car fitted with automatic transmission. When would you use kickdown? C. To accelerate quickly. Explanation. Kickdown selects a lower gear, enabling the vehicle to accelerate faster. Question 8. What should you do as you approach this overhead bridge? B. Be prepared to give way to large vehicles in the middle of the road. Explanation. Oncoming large vehicles may need to move to the middle of the road to pass safely under the bridge. There won't be enough room for you to continue, so you should be ready to stop and wait. Question 9. What should the driver of the car approaching the crossing do? A. Slow down and get ready to stop. Explanation. Look well ahead to see whether any hazards are developing. This will give you more time to deal with them in the correct way. The man in the picture is clearly intending to cross the road. You should be traveling at a speed that allows you to check your mirror. Slow down and stop in good time. You shouldn't have to brake harshly. Question 10. Why are place names painted on the road surface? B. To help you select the correct lane in good time. Explanation. The names of towns and cities may be painted on the road at busy junctions and complex road systems. They guide you into the correct lane in good time, allowing traffic to flow more freely. Question 11. What should you do if you think the driver of the vehicle in front has forgotten to cancel their right indicator? B. Stay behind and don't overtake. Explanation. Be cautious and don't attempt to overtake. The driver may be unsure of the location of a junction and may turn suddenly. Question 12. You're driving towards this level crossing. What would be the first warning of an approaching train? C. A steady amber light. Explanation. The steady amber light will be followed by twin flashing red lights that mean you must stop. An alarm will also sound to alert you to the fact that a train is approaching. Question 13. What will become more expensive after you've been convicted of driving while unfit through drink or drugs? C. Insurance premiums. Explanation. You've shown that you're a risk to yourself and others on the road. For this reason, insurance companies may charge you a higher premium. Question 14. Why should you be cautious when going past this bus waiting at a bus stop? B. People may cross the road in front of it. Explanation. A bus at a bus stop can hide pedestrians who might try to cross the road just in front of it. Drive at a speed that will enable you to respond safely if you have to. Question 15. You need glasses to read a vehicle number plate at the required distance. When must you wear them? C. Whenever you're driving. Explanation. Have your eyesight tested before you start your practical training. Then, throughout your driving life, have checks periodically, as your vision may change. Question 16. You're driving on this dual carriageway. Why may you need to slow down? B. There are roadworks ahead of you. Explanation. Look well ahead and read any road signs as you drive. They're there to inform you of what's ahead. In this case, you may need to slow down and change direction. Check your mirrors so you know what's happening around you before you change speed or direction. Question 17. Which type of vehicle should you be ready to give way to as you approach this bridge? C. Buses. Explanation. A bus or high-sided lorry will have to take a position in the center of the road to clear the bridge. There's normally a sign to show this. Look well ahead, past the bridge, and be ready to stop and give way to large oncoming vehicles. Question 18. How can drinking alcohol affect your ability to drive or ride? D. Your ability to judge speed will be reduced. Explanation. Alcohol will severely reduce your ability to drive or ride safely, and there are serious consequences if you're caught over the drink-drive limit. It's known that alcohol can cause overconfidence, affect your judgment, reduce coordination and control. Question 19. Do you need to plan rest stops when you're planning a long journey? C. Yes, regular stops help concentration. Explanation. Try to plan your journey so that you can take rest stops. It's recommended that you take a break of at least 15 minutes after every 2 hours of driving or riding. This should help to maintain your concentration. Question 20. What should you do if you start to feel drowsy while you're driving on a motorway? C. Open a window and stop as soon as it's safe and legal. Explanation. Never stop on the hard shoulder to rest. If there's no service area for several miles, leave the motorway at the next exit and find somewhere safe and legal to pull over. Question 21. Which road user has caused a hazard? D. The parked car, arrowed A. Explanation. The car arrowed A is parked within the area marked by zigzag lines at the pedestrian crossing. Parking here is illegal. It also blocks the view for pedestrians wishing to cross the road, restricts the view of the crossing for approaching traffic. Question 22. What must you do if poor health affects your driving? A. Inform the licensing authority. Explanation. You must tell DVLA or DVA in Northern Ireland if your health is likely to affect your ability to drive. The licensing authority will investigate your situation and then make a decision on whether you're fit enough to drive safely. Question 23. Some two-way roads are divided into 3 lanes. Why are they particularly dangerous? D. Traffic in both directions can use the middle lane to overtake. Explanation. If you intend to overtake, you must consider that approaching traffic could be planning the same maneuver. When you've considered the situation and decided it's safe, indicate your intentions early. This will show the approaching traffic that you intend to pull out. Question 24. Why should you make allowances for older drivers? B. Older drivers' reactions may be slower than other drivers. Explanation. As people age, their reaction time gets slower. The rate of decline varies from person to person, but you can expect them to take longer to react to a hazard, and they may be hesitant in some situations. For example, at a junction. Question 25. What should you do if a driver pulls out of a side road in front of you, causing you to brake hard? D. Ignore the error and stay calm. Explanation. Be tolerant if a vehicle emerges and you have to brake quickly. Anyone can make a mistake, so don't react aggressively. Be alert where there are side roads and be especially careful where there are parked vehicles, because these can make it difficult for emerging drivers to see you. Question 26. Why should you slow down as you approach this hazard? D. Because of the level crossing. Explanation. You should be slowing down and selecting the correct gear in case you have to stop at the level crossing. Look for the signals and be prepared to stop if necessary. Question 27. What must you do at this junction? D. Stop behind the line, then edge forward to see clearly. Explanation. The stop sign has been put here because the view into the main road is poor. You must stop because it won't be possible to take proper observation while you're moving. Question 28. You've been involved in an argument that's made you feel angry. What should you do before starting your journey? A. Calm down. Explanation. If you're feeling upset or angry, you'll find it much more difficult to concentrate on your driving. You should wait until you've calmed down before starting a journey. Question 29. What should the driver of the gray car be especially aware of? C. Doors opening on parked cars. Explanation. When passing parked cars, there's a risk that a driver or passenger may not check before opening the door into the road. A defensive driver will drive slowly and be looking for people who may be about to get out of their car. Question 30. What might you expect to happen in this situation? B. Traffic will move into the left-hand lane. Explanation. Be courteous and allow the traffic to merge into the left-hand lane. Question 31. You're invited to a pub lunch. What should you do if you know that you'll have to drive in the evening? C. Don't drink any alcohol at all. Explanation. Alcohol will stay in your body for several hours and may make you unfit to drive later in the day. Drinking during the day will also affect your performance at work or study. Question 32. What should the driver of the red car, Arrow, do? C. Wait for the pedestrian in the road to cross. Explanation. Some people might take a long time to cross the road. They may be older or have a disability. Be patient and don't hurry them by showing your impatience. If pedestrians are standing at the side of the road, don't signal or wave them to cross. Other road users might not have seen your signal, and this could lead the pedestrians into a hazardous situation. Question 33. What can seriously reduce your ability to concentrate? D. Drugs. Explanation. Both recreational drugs and prescribed medicine can affect your concentration. It's also an offense to drive with certain drugs in your body, and a positive test could lead to a conviction. Question 34. What can result when you travel for long distances in neutral, known as coasting? B. Reduction in control. Explanation. Coasting is the term used when the clutch is held down or the gear lever is in neutral and the vehicle is allowed to freewheel. This reduces the driver's control of the vehicle. When you coast, the engine can't drive the wheels to stabilize you through. Question 35. What should you do about driving if you've been taking medicine that causes drowsiness? A. Avoid driving and check with your doctor. Explanation. You aren't fit to drive if you're taking medicine that makes you drowsy. Check with your doctor if you're unsure. You mustn't put other road users, your passengers, or yourself at risk. Question 36. What should you do if the vehicle starts reversing off the driveway? B. Sound your horn and be prepared to stop. Explanation. White lights at the rear of a car show that the driver has selected reverse gear. The driver is hidden from view so can't see you approaching. Sound your horn to warn of your presence and be ready to stop if the car reverses into your path. Question 37. How does drinking alcohol affect your driving behavior? C. It increases confidence. Explanation. Alcohol can increase confidence to a point where your driving behavior might become out of character. Sensible behavior might change to risk-taking behavior. Never let yourself or your friends get into this situation. Question 38. Which type of glasses would make driving at night more difficult? A. Tinted. Explanation. If you're driving at night or in poor visibility, tinted lenses will reduce the efficiency of your vision by reducing the amount of light reaching your eyes. Question 39. What's the main hazard the driver of the red car, arrowed, should be aware of? B. The bus may move out into the road. Explanation. If you can do so safely, give way to buses, signaling to move off at bus stops. Try to anticipate the actions of other road users around you. The driver of the red car should be prepared for the bus pulling out. As you approach a bus stop, look to see how many passengers are waiting to board. If the last one has just got on, the bus is likely to move off. Question 40. What should you do as you approach this cyclist? B. Slow down and allow the cyclist to turn. Explanation. Keep well back and give the cyclist time and room to turn safely. Don't intimidate them by getting too close or trying to squeeze past. Question 41. You're behind this cyclist. When the traffic lights change, what should you do? C. Allow the cyclist time and room. Explanation. Hold back and allow the cyclist to move off. Some junctions have special areas marked across the front of the traffic lane. These allow cyclists to wait for the lights to change and move off ahead of other traffic. Question 42. You've just been overtaken by this motorcyclist. What should you do if the rider cuts in sharply? B. Keep a safe gap. Explanation. If another vehicle cuts in sharply, ease off the accelerator and drop back to allow a safe separation distance. Try not to overreact by braking sharply or swerving, as you could lose control. If vehicles behind you are too close or unprepared, it could lead to a crash. Question 43. When should you use hazard warning lights? A. When your vehicle has broken down and is causing an obstruction. Explanation. Hazard warning lights are an important safety feature and should be used if you've broken down and are causing an obstruction. Don't use them as an excuse to park illegally. You may also use them on motorways to warn traffic behind you of danger ahead. Question 44. Why are vehicle mirrors often slightly curved, convex? D. They give a wider field of vision. Explanation. Although a convex mirror gives a wide view of the scene behind, you should be aware that it won't show you everything behind or to the side of your vehicle. Before you move off, you'll need to look over your shoulder to check for anything not visible in the mirrors. Question 45. What does this signal from a police officer mean to oncoming traffic? C. Stop. Explanation. Police officers may need to direct traffic, for example, at a junction where the traffic lights have broken down. Check your copy of the highway code for the signals that they use. Question 46. You're about to drive your car. What should you do if you can't find the glasses you need to wear? A. Find a way of getting home without driving. Explanation. If you need to wear glasses for driving, it's illegal to drive without them. You must be able to see clearly when you're driving. Question 47. You're on a 3-lane motorway. How should you overtake a slow-moving lorry in the middle lane if it's showing this sign? A. Approach with care and overtake on the left of the lorry. Explanation. This sign is found on slow-moving or stationary works vehicles. If you wish to overtake it, do so on the left, as indicated. Be aware that there might be people working in the area. Question 48. Where would it be unsafe to overtake? C. Approaching a junction. Explanation. You should overtake only when it's really necessary and you can see it's clear ahead. Look out for road signs and markings that show it's illegal or would be unsafe to overtake. For example, approaching junctions or bends. In many cases, overtaking is unlikely to significantly improve your journey time. Question 49. What should you do if a doctor prescribes drugs that are likely to affect your driving? B. Get someone else to drive. Explanation. You shouldn't drive if you're taking medicine that could cause you to feel drowsy at the wheel. Ask someone else to drive, or if that isn't possible, find another way to get home. Question 50. What should you expect if you see this sign ahead? C. The road will bend sharply to the left. Explanation. This sign indicates that the road will bend sharply to the left. Slow down in plenty of time and select the correct gear before you start to turn. Braking hard and late while also sharply changing direction is likely to cause a skid. Question 51. What type of vehicle displays this yellow sign? C. A school bus. Explanation. Buses which carry children to and from school may stop at places other than scheduled bus stops. Be aware that they might pull over at any time to allow children to get on or off. This will normally be when traffic is heavy during rush hour. Question 52. A driver's behavior has upset you. How can you get over this incident safely? D. Stop and take a break. Explanation. If you feel yourself becoming tense or upset, stop in a safe place and take a break. Tiredness can make things worse and may cause a different reaction to upsetting situations. Question 53. When may you use hazard warning lights? D. When driving on a motorway to warn traffic behind of a hazard ahead. Explanation. Hazard warning lights are an important safety feature. Use them when driving on a motorway to warn traffic behind you of danger ahead. You should also use them if your vehicle has broken down and is causing an obstruction. Question 54. You intend to turn left at the traffic lights. What should you do just before turning? A. check for bicycles on your left. Explanation: if you've been in a queue of traffic and are about to turn left, check your near side for cyclists, as they often filter past on the near side of slow-moving or stationary vehicles. Question 55. Why must you take great care when emerging from this junction? A. The view is restricted. Explanation: you may have to pull forward slowly until you can see up and down the road. Be aware that the traffic approaching the junction can't see you either. If you don't know that it's clear, don't go. Question 56. What does the solid white line at the side of the road indicate? C. Edge of the carriageway. Explanation: the continuous white line shows the edge of the carriageway. It can be especially useful when visibility is restricted, such as at night or in bad weather. It's discontinued in some places, for example, at junctions, lay-bys, entrances, or other openings. Question 57. You're driving on a road with several lanes. What do these signs above the lanes mean? C. The two left lanes are open. Explanation: on some busy roads, lane control signals are used to vary the number of lanes available to give priority to the main traffic flow. A green arrow indicates that the lane is available to traffic facing the signal. A white diagonal arrow means that the lane is closed ahead and traffic should move to the next lane on the left. A red cross means that the lane is closed to traffic facing the signal. Question 58. What type of vehicle uses an amber flashing beacon on a dual carriageway? A. A tractor. Explanation: an amber flashing beacon on a vehicle indicates that it's moving slowly or stopped and a possible hazard. Look well ahead on a dual carriageway and you should be able to see and respond to these vehicles in good time. Question 59. You're driving on a one-way street. What should you do if you realize you've taken the wrong route? B. Continue and find another route. Explanation: never reverse or turn your vehicle around in a one-way street. It's illegal and could even cause a collision. If you've taken a wrong turn, carry on along the one-way street and find another route, checking the direction signs as you drive. Stop in a safe place if you need to check a map. Question 60. What advice should you give to a driver who has had a few alcoholic drinks at a party? B. Go home by public transport. Explanation: drinking black coffee or waiting a few hours won't make any difference. Alcohol takes time to leave the body. A driver who has been drinking should go home by public transport or taxi. They might even be unfit to drive the following morning. Question 61. You're driving towards this left-hand bend. What danger should you be anticipating? A. Pedestrians walking towards you. Explanation: pedestrians walking on a road with no pavement should walk against the direction of the traffic. You can't see around this bend, and if pedestrians are in the road, you need to be able to deal with the situation safely. Always keep this in mind and give yourself time to react if a hazard does appear. Question 62. What must you do if your eyesight has become very poor and you're no longer able to meet the driver's eyesight requirements? D. Tell the driver licensing authority. Explanation. Having very poor eyesight will have a serious effect on your ability to drive safely. If you can't meet the driver's eyesight requirements, you must tell DVLA or DVA in Northern Ireland. Question 63. You want to turn left at this junction. What should you do if your view of the main road is restricted? A. Approach slowly and edge out until you can see more clearly. Explanation. You should slow right down and stop if necessary at any junction where your view is restricted. Edge forward until you can see properly. Only then can you decide whether it's safe to go. Question 64. You're following a slower moving vehicle. What should you do if there's a junction just ahead on the right? C. Only consider overtaking when you're past the junction. Explanation. You should never overtake as you approach a junction. If a vehicle emerged from the junction while you were overtaking, a dangerous situation could develop very quickly. Question 65. What can you do to help prevent tiredness on a long journey? C. Take regular refreshment breaks. Explanation. Long-distance driving can be boring. This, coupled with a stuffy, warm vehicle, can make you feel tired and sleepy. Make sure you take rest breaks to help you stay awake and alert. Stop in a safe place before you get to the stage of fighting sleep. Question 66. You're waiting to emerge at a junction. Your view is restricted by parked vehicles. What can help you to see traffic on the road you're joining? C. Reflections of traffic in windows. Explanation. You must be completely sure it's safe to emerge. Try to look for traffic through the windows of the parked cars or in the reflections in windows. Keep looking in all directions as you slowly edge forwards until you can see it safe. Question 67. What should you do if you become tired while you're driving on a motorway? A. Leave the motorway at the next exit and rest. Explanation. If you feel yourself becoming tired or sleepy, you should leave the motorway at the next exit or services and stop for a rest. If you have to drive a long way, leave earlier and plan your journey to include rest stops. That way, you're less likely to become tired while driving and you'll still arrive in good time. Question 68. What should you do if the traffic in the left-hand lane is slowing? D. Slow down, keeping a safe separation distance. Explanation. Allow the traffic to merge into the left-hand lane. Leave enough room so that you can maintain a safe separation distance, even if vehicles pull in ahead of you. Question 69. You're about to drive home. What should you do if you feel very tired and have a severe headache? D. Wait until you're fit and well before driving. Explanation. All of your concentration should be on your driving. Any pain you feel will distract you, and you should avoid driving when drowsy. The safest course of action is to wait until you've rested and are feeling better before starting your journey. Question 70. What hazards should you be aware of when traveling along this street? B. Children running out between vehicles. Explanation. On roads where there are many parked vehicles, You might not be able to see children between parked cars, and they may run out into the road without looking. Question 71. Why should the junction on the left be kept clear? D. To allow vehicles to enter and emerge. Explanation. You should always try to keep junctions clear. If you're in queuing traffic, make sure that when you stop, you leave enough space for traffic to flow in and out of the junction. Question 72. What's the main hazard you should be aware of when following this cyclist? C. The cyclist may swerve into the road. Explanation. When following a cyclist, be aware that they have to deal with the hazards around them. They may wobble or swerve to avoid a pothole in the road, or see a potential hazard and change direction suddenly. Don't follow them too closely or rev your engine impatiently. Question 73. What should you do if the red lights start flashing as you approach a level crossing? B. Stop before the barrier. Explanation. At level crossings, the red lights flash before and while the barrier is down. At most crossings, an amber light will precede the red lights. You must stop behind the white line unless you've already crossed it when the amber light comes on. Don't be tempted to zigzag around half barriers. Question 74. Why should you reduce your speed here? D. A staggered junction is ahead. Explanation. Traffic could be turning off or pulling out ahead of you to the left or right. Vehicles turning left will be slowing down before the junction, and any vehicles turning right may have to stop to allow oncoming traffic to clear. Be prepared for this, as you might have to slow down or stop behind them. Question 75. What should you do if it's raining and you're following this lorry on a motorway? A. Be aware of spray reducing your vision. Explanation. Increase your chances of being seen by the lorry driver. Give yourself more time to stop if the need arises. Be out of the spray thrown up by the lorry's tires. The usual 2-second time gap increases to 4 seconds when the roads are wet. If you stay well back, you'll wet. Question 76. Why should you check the information leaflet before taking any medicine? B. Some types of medicine can affect your ability to drive safely. Explanation. Always check the label or information leaflet for any medication you take. The medicine might affect your driving. If you aren't sure, ask your doctor or pharmacist. Question 77. How should you drive or ride in areas with traffic calming measures? D. At a reduced speed. Explanation. Traffic calming measures such as road humps, chicanes, and narrowings are intended to slow traffic down to protect vulnerable road users. Don't speed up until you reach the end of the traffic calmed zone. Question 78. What's the main hazard shown in this picture? B. The cyclist crossing the road. Explanation. Look at the picture carefully and try to imagine you're there. The cyclist in this picture appears to be trying to cross the road. You must be able to deal with the unexpected, especially when you're approaching a hazardous junction. Look well ahead to give yourself time to deal with any hazards.